Hey there, it's another store teardown, and today we're reviewing Danish Design Store. So I already opened a main page of it, and this is how exactly it looks like when I just opened it. We do see a cookie banner, and it does have a very advanced preferences, so it's either seems that they are required to put something like that because of their annual revenue, or they just following some GDPR rules from Europe and stuff like that. So I'm just clicking accept just to get rid of this. And on the main page, we can see that the font size is pretty small, so it's hard to read those announcement bars like free shipping over $75 and stuff like that. So let's take a look what are the sections are on the main page. So from what we can see, we have some promoted items that looks pretty classy, and the interesting part is that those have price, but those below doesn't have the price listed. Usual thing, invitation to join a newsletter. The interesting part is that, like in many stores, they promote joining newsletter by actually giving some discount and stuff like that. There's no discount mentioned because they targeting a premium segment, I guess, and it's not about discounts as much. And it is a multi-brand store, so it's not one brand that selling different types of products under their own under their own brand. It is a, let's say, retailer that offers different brands and designers. That's why on the footer we have brands designers links as well. I'm not sure if that store using Shopify or not, because I'm reviewing in general just the stores that pick an attention, and at the end of the day it really doesn't matter what platform is used, because ultimately the customer experience and how robust all the interactions, and as well obviously ideas and different type of tricks and hacks that are being used count. So from that perspective, let's take a look how main navigation looks like. So this is main menu, and the good part is that they actually make a trick that holds the page when you basically open the main navigation, and it's not often being broken, but sometimes it's being broken, and when you scroll the navigation, the page underneath as well is being scrolled, so kind of annoying. In that case, they doing it really good. And I don't know what those 2 zeros means under the price, but it is what it is. From the perspective of the collection itself, we can see that they do have some lead capturing modal windows that already promoting signing up for a newsletter, but for discount as well. So they do offer discounts for the newsletter, not on the main page. Okay, filters. Interesting way of handling filters is by floating icon on the bottom right, and it's quite rich on essentially ways how we can filter this category, and this collection can be filtered by brand, by the price range. So here you can see the problem that I mentioned before is when something is not actually properly set up on CSS. So that makes almost in some cases impossible to use the controls when it's challenging to use the controls. And from that perspective, we can also go and see like what's going on discounts. Not much. Okay, so another one pretty annoying thing was specifically iPhone Safari is that when you click on an input text, it does focus on it and enlarge, like zoom in the page and opens the keyboard. So there is then when you escape this input text, it actually keeps the thing larger than the viewport, so it also disrupts pretty drastically the usability, and it is fixable, but it is what it is. So this is how collection page works, and when we entering a very let's say general category, then it does show a lot of fillers. Now I'm opened a product details page. Product details page is important, especially in case of furniture online stores, because in majority of cases it will be used as a landing page, since customers used to search for a specific item. So they would go with wishbone chair wood, and then either through Google shopping feed or any other way land on this product details page. And what we can see here is how they organize the options, and we have frame options, and they not seem to be clickable. This is how more images gallery is being opened, and it's quite smart from the perspective of the loading time and overall load of the page. So if we basically don't click this more images, those images would not be loaded at all. So this way it cuts off the time to the first contentful paint and boosts the perceived speed and performance, as well as scored speed and performance. We have description, we have a call to action button where we can contact about the product, which is interesting that it doesn't say which product we're contacting about, and the form is scroll itself, so like it can be easily missing the button that submits that form. So let's return back. The add to cart button is actually not floating, and it's sitting continuously on the same place. So whenever we scroll down, it doesn't follow us. We have similar products, and all of them are lazy loaded. So whenever I'm click, it's only then start requesting the image. And just a quick reminder, I'm right behind the cellular point, which makes my speed 5G and very, very decent. So those loading times are non-achievable in normal situation in the field, having a cell phone and navigating through this site. Okay, so this is pretty minimalistic and pretty straightforward. We have the product details page, and we can see some shipping info, which opens in a new page, quite disruptive for the user experience. And we can choose the options through drop downs, and those drop downs are actually cut off by the price box, so you can't really read the names of those options, and that's also not so useful. When I'm choosing those options, it does not update an image, which you quite sort of expect to happen, just to see how your option look like on a larger preview. When I'm clicking on the image, it doesn't open larger preview, or like I can't open the image in a large form. So from that perspective, this is pretty much it. Let's add to cart, and we have a sidebar card which opens on the right, and quite interesting that we don't have any indication that we have products in the cart. So the cart icon on the top right corner remains without any, like it oftentimes happens, bubble with a number of items in it. So this is interesting, but I'm not really sure why. But this cart does not allow me to proceed further for the checkout. But checkout button, while being gray, is actually clickable. And yes, this store running on Shopify. So this is pretty confusing. So whenever you are navigating here, they first making quite clear pattern that all red buttons and red links are clickable and active, that you can use them. But suddenly on the sidebar checkout, you basically not able to do anything. That's interesting, and it's confusing as well. So let's take a look on office collection, and let's say add a great looking desk. So add to cart, and see how the sidebar card would work in case I'm adding more items to it. They do have breadcrumbs on the top of the page, right below this gray announcement bar. What happens is that this breadcrumbs doesn't provide much value, simply because we do have main page here and the actual product details page without the collection office that I just opened. So I can't make much usage of it, and I basically need to repeat the full navigation. So let's take a look on this one and add it to cart. Okay, so this makes the previous experience on the sidebar cart even more weird, because as you can see, the pattern here is that the add to cart button is gray until I actually make a selection, and it's obviously a bug because I don't have a drop down to make a selection, and it says make your selection below for the material, which is not. Oh, okay. So the mobile experience is pretty confusing. I don't know. Yeah, so this almost invisible border, red border, yeah, it's more visible here when you click on the white letter, is basically enables the add to cart button. So I can click add to cart, and this is how sidebar cart look like. All the express payments buttons are visible here, and they are sort of visually messed up a bit, but it is what it is. Let's take a look what other elements of the store we can explore. So, and another one is those two brands and all designers, which are quite powerful in the matter of cross-linking. So you suddenly create a ton of cross-linking internally on the site, and here we can see all the brands they work with, and probably click yes. So now all the products are being sorted by brand, and then we can further filter this by again, brand, which is sort of counterintuitive, but that's how it works. And let's take a look on designers. So that creates like a large not paginated page. Let's click designers, and yeah, this is a cool idea. They have photos, classy minimal photos, and then alphabetically listed all the designers. That for sure is a big boost for the SEO and some other stuff, but I don't see any blog, honestly. And let's take a look on their metrics, how many page views and what's going on the similarweb. Cool. So they have pretty decent amount of monthly visits, and bounce rate is actually high, but not too high. And regarding the source of traffic, we can see that 87% came from United States, Canada, and surprisingly Denmark. Probably a bunch of people in Denmark googling like this and getting to this page. So regarding the sources of the traffic, from where they're getting most is search, which is cool and interesting. Would like to learn more how this could be achieved. And 24 direct, which doesn't tells much, and just 4% social. They don't have as much social media activity, it seems. It says 1.32% display ads, which probably reflects that they do display ads on Google. And Danish design apparently is a popular thing here in California, or at least in LA where they're placed. Oh, okay, so classic. Majority of the furniture stores getting most of their social traffic from Pinterest. And we can see that Facebook and YouTube are way behind Pinterest. Well, this was a review of DanishDesignStore.com. They powered by Shopify, and it's a multi-brand furniture store. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you on the other Teardown. Bye.